UFC 303 this Saturday in Vegas. Could it get any better? It sure can when you get in with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. It is a banger of the card, and the light heavyweight championship is on the line in the main event. New to DraftKings? Check this out. New customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. When you sign up, use the code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. That's right. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. From the much anticipated title fights to the exciting undercard bouts, DraftKings is giving customers a shot to get in on the action all night long. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you got a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use my promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. This is not a new interview. I just caught it. It was Jocko with Rickson Gracie. And they did this a number of months ago, man. They might have even done it. It could have been at the very first part of this year. I had it saved, and I was meaning to watch it, but it was a couple of hours, and I don't want to just catch part of it. I didn't want to, sometimes you set like a podcast up, then you go about your day, catch a little bit of it. But this was one I wanted to hear, so I saved it and waited. And Rickson Gracie is so fascinating to me. And like, Jocko is one of the more interesting characters that you're going to be able to find on the internet. And the internet serves 6 billion people, which would make Jocko one of the more interesting characters you're going to find in the world. And Jocko finds Rickson Gracie to be interesting, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of these things, and I'm listening to this piece, and I knew most of it. I know the Gracie story. I mean, I'm a Gracie mark. I'm only in this sport. If it wasn't for Royce Gracie, I don't know anything about any of this. So, all right. Rickson Gracie is a hero. He is a anti-hero in some ways. He's a straight hero in other ways. With the mentality of a gangster. He's got the mentality of, like, what would be, if you know about Rickson Gracie, the entire Gracie family, but he is the leader of it. He tells the entire story of how he became the leader. Like, his dad did not name him, hey, son. It wasn't like that. It wasn't just him and the brother, so he was the older brother. He was the bigger one. It was none of those things that you might assume. Because, see, don't forget, he wasn't the leader of his family. That's a misunderstanding. Now, let me say that one more time. Rickson Gracie was not the leader of his family. He was a leader of the family. And what's the difference? Cousins. The Gracies are like rabbits. They got theirs. They're all over the place. And they're all doing jiu-jitsu, which, by the way, at the time they were doing it, was very much a hidden art. So they very much did have secret and unknown techniques, not to mention the internet didn't exist. Like, the idea and the concept of knowing something from a technical standpoint within sport that other people didn't know was very real. Very, very real. So Rickson tells the story, and he didn't take that crown, by the way. He wasn't handed the crown for one, but he did not take the crown from a brother. It was a cousin when he tells the story. And the cousin was happy for him. But there was a ceremony between the two of them. I mean, it was nothing more than a pat on the back, but it still happened. And there was the day when Rickson realized that he was now the leader of the family. Okay, great. So, all right, so far we got a gangster, right? We got a bad guy with a gangster mindset. Well, no, not at all. Why? How is Rickson a hero when he has the same mindset of John Gotti? How? Because he had a code. And the code is everybody leaves in one piece. No weapons. No jumping. No eye pokes, no gouge, even if no biting, no eye pokes. Even if we're doing this in the streets, you don't pick anything up. Nothing in your hands. Not even gloves. Back then, there was nothing in your hands. And he had fights where the other guys didn't follow the rule. They brought other people, and Rickson would tell him before the fight, "Here's how this goes. I realize we're outnumbered. I understand how this goes. I'm not turning and leaving. I'm still going to do the fight. Anyone jumps in, I understand that's going to be very bad for me today. It will be bad for you tomorrow. Just because you showed up with more numbers, just so you understand." And the guys didn't do it. And he had some tough suckers out there. But they had an honor as well. And one day these guys showed up, they wanted to fight. But they brought gangsters with them. This one guy even went and set up shop out of a window nearby and was pulling off rounds. I mean, this is pretty tough stuff. And so it's a situation of, we got to get out of here. And Rickson said, "No, we're still going to fight. But if that dude up there, if one of those rounds hits me, just so you know, this will be avenged another day." It's a very interesting mindset that started in a small area before the internet, before word and rumor and could spread. And it still spread around the globe. And it's very fascinating to listen to. Rickson and Jocko, it's very fascinating. Because you will come away and you will like Rickson. You didn't know him going in. If you know him going in, you like, everybody likes Rickson. But if you don't know the story at all, you will come away and you will understand he didn't have any different mentality than John Gotti. But John Gotti was a bad guy and Rickson's a good guy. How's that work? Well, because there was a code. And the code was that we're going to prove skill, training, technique, understanding, conditioning, whatever it might be. What I know versus what you know. And then we're going to go through life honoring what happens in this one moment. And they did it. Even if they did it in parking lots. Even if they did it on the beach, like he did with Hugo Duarte. And it was a very, very interesting story. I had my buddy Justin Wolf, but he ran our middle school for years. And then he ran Westland High School for years. But he had a very similar code to Rickson, which is Justin would not ever mess with you, but it was very well known. If you want the title, the baddest dude in the school, it goes through him. And if you make the suggestion, you're not going to have time. You're not going to be, "I'll see you tomorrow," or it's going to be right now. And there was a couple of guys that flirted with that. And I'll just share with you, it's a very interesting hero. You have a hero as opposed to a bad guy, though the mentality isn't wholly different.